A woman once paid a dealership $200 to make a warning light go away. The technician plugged in a scanner, pressed a button, and handed the car back. That was the whole repair. $200 to press a button she could have pressed herself in her driveway for free. That is, the trick shops do not advertise, because a huge share of the problems people pay to fix are not mechanical at all. They are the car's computer holding on to bad information, a false alarm, a stored glitch, a setting that drifted. And one reset clears most of them at once, with no tools and no cost. But there is a catch, and an honest mechanic tells you the catch first. So here's the reset, what it fixes, and the one thing it will never fix. What the reset actually is. Your car has a brain. It is called the ECU, the engine control unit, and it is a small computer that runs the engine second by second. It does not just run the engine on fixed settings, it learns. Every time you drive, it makes tiny adjustments, how much fuel to add, how to hold the idle steady, how to compensate for the air and the altitude and the way you drive, and it stores those adjustments in its memory. Over months and years, that learned memory usually helps, but sometimes it goes wrong. A sensor sends bad data for a while. A weak battery browns out the system. A one-time fault trips a warning light that then stays on long after the actual problem is gone. And the computer keeps running on that bad information because it has no reason to throw it away. The reset is simple. You wipe that learned memory and force the computer to start fresh, relearning the car from scratch. That is the whole trick. And there are two ways to do it. The two ways to do it. The first way costs nothing and needs no tools at all. You disconnect the car's battery, open the hood, loosen the clamp on the negative battery terminal, the one marked with a minus sign, and lift the cable off so it cannot touch the post. Then you wait. Most cars need somewhere between 15 and 30 minutes for the computer's internal power to fully drain, because there are small capacitors inside that hold a charge for a while after the battery is gone. Some people speed this up by turning the headlights on to bleed the power off faster. After the wait, reconnect the negative cable, tighten it, and you are done. The learned memory is gone. The stored trouble codes are gone. The car will relearn everything the next time you drive. The second way is a scan tool. A basic OBD2 scanner plugs into a port under the dashboard, usually just below the steering wheel, and it can clear the stored codes directly without touching the battery. A decent one costs around $20 to $30, and it is the exact same device the dealership plugged in to charge that woman $200. Buy it once and you have that $200 button in your glove box forever. Both methods do the same core thing. They clear the codes and force the relearn, and that relearn is where most of the problems quietly disappear. What it actually fixes. Here's where the 95% comes from, and here is where you have to be honest about what problems really means, because a huge number of the complaints that send people to a shop are electronic, not mechanical. A check engine light that came on after a one-time hiccup and never went back off. A rough hunting idle after a battery change or a repair where the car surges and dips at a stoplight because it lost its learned idle position. Hesitation or a flat spot in the throttle that showed up after some work was done under the hood. Stalling right after a new battery. A car that suddenly feels sluggish or drinks more fuel than it should because its fuel trims drifted out of range. Electronic gremlins after a jump start. Warning lights flickering, systems acting confused. Throttle response that went lazy for no obvious reason. Every one of those is the computer running on bad or lost learned data. And every one of those is exactly what a reset and relearn is built to clear. The car wipes the bad information, drives on generalized factory settings for a little while, and rebuilds its adjustments correctly. In a day or two of normal driving, the idle smooths out, the light stays off, the throttle wakes up, and the car feels like itself again. No parts, no labor, no charge. There is a reason these problems cluster around one event in particular: a battery change. The moment a shop or a driver swaps a battery, the computer loses everything it had learned, and the car often drives worse immediately afterward than it did before. People bring the car back, convinced the new battery is faulty or the shop broke something. Almost always, nothing is broken at all. The computer is simply running blank, and it has not had time to relearn. A short drive fixes what looks like a serious fault, which is exactly the kind of repair that gets billed as labor when it needed nothing but time. That is the honest version of the 95%. Not 95% of everything that can go wrong with a car, but a genuinely large share of the everyday complaints, the lights, the idle, the hesitation, the post-repair glitches that people assume are expensive and are not. But now the catch, because this is where the honest mechanic and the clickbait video part ways: what it will never fix. The reset does not repair anything physical. It cannot. It only clears information. And if a warning light is on because something is actually broken, the reset will turn that light off for a little while, and then it will come right back on. Think about what that means. If your brake pads are worn to metal, the reset does nothing, the pads are still gone. If your alternator is dying, a bad wheel bearing is howling, your water pump is leaking, your transmission is slipping, or your catalytic converter is failing, clearing the code changes none of it. The light comes back because the fault is real and the car is telling you the truth. And here is the part that matters most. The reason a good mechanic actually does not like this trick used blindly. Clearing a code without understanding why it was there can hide a problem that is getting worse. That light is information. If you keep wiping it instead of reading it, you can erase the early warning on something that is about to become a breakdown, or a safety issue, or a repair that costs 10 times what it would have if you had caught it early. So the rule is simple. If you clear the reset and the light stays off and the car drives right, it was a glitch and you just saved yourself a shop visit. If you clear it and the light comes back, that is not a glitch. That is your car telling you something is genuinely wrong. And that is the moment to read the code, not keep erasing it. Which is exactly why the smartest version of this trick is not the battery at all. Why the scanner beats the battery. Pulling the battery is the free version, and it works. But it is a blunt instrument, and it has real downsides worth knowing before you do it. When you disconnect the battery, you wipe everything, not just the engine's memory. You can lose your radio presets and, on some cars, the security code that unlocks the radio afterward. Your clock resets. Power windows that have a learned auto-up function may need to be retaught, and on many newer cars, you erase the emissions readiness monitors, which means if you have an emissions test coming up, you will fail it until you have driven enough for the car to run its self-checks again. A cheap scan tool avoids all of that. It clears the codes and the engine's learned data without touching your radio, your clock, your windows, or your security system. But the scanner does something far more valuable than clear codes. It reads them first. Before you erase anything, a $20 scanner tells you the exact code the car stored, and a quick search tells you whether that code is a harmless one-time glitch or a warning about something real. That is the difference between resetting your car intelligently and just blindly hiding a problem. So the honest hierarchy is this: read the code first. If it is minor or a known false alarm, clear it and let the car relearn. If it points to something mechanical, you just found out what is wrong before it stranded you, which is worth far more than the $20 the tool cost. The relearn, doing it right. Whichever method you use, the reset is only half the job. The car has to relearn, and how you drive right after decides how well it goes. Expect the first few minutes to feel worse, not better. With its learned memory wiped, the engine is running on generalized factory settings, so the idle may be rough, the throttle may feel slightly off, and it might even stumble. That is normal. That is the car with a blank memory, not a car that is broken. After reconnecting, turn the ignition on for a moment before starting, then start the engine and let it idle. Letting it warm up helps it begin relearning the idle. Then drive it normally, a real mix of speeds, some gentle acceleration, some steady cruising, some stop and go for a couple of trips. The computer uses that variety to rebuild its fuel and idle adjustments across every condition. Within a day or two of ordinary driving, the relearn finishes and the car settles into running smoothly again. Often better than it did before the reset, because it is no longer carrying the bad data that caused the problem. So the trick is real, as long as you are honest about the word problems. Most of what sends people to a shop is not a broken part. It is a computer holding bad information, and a free reset clears it. But here's the whole thing in one line. Reset the glitches, never the failures. If the light stays off, you just saved $200. If it comes back, your car is telling you the truth, so listen. If this helped, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more interesting videos.